Please welcome Toni Braxton!
She's so freaking mean to me.
The word on the street is that R&B singer Toni Braxton is at loggerheads with O Winfrey, and the feud is reaching epic proportions. Many gossip mills are surmising that O has sworn never to allow Toni Braxton into her studios for what the singer did to her. According to the rumors, both women nearly went at each other at a private event where cameras were barred. This turn of events, if true, is quite surprising, given that both women shared a great relationship in the 90s.
I couldn't believe it because I loved her so much. I admired her and looked up to her.
So, what caused the bad blood between the two celebrities? And who is to blame? O Winfrey and Toni Braxton have apparently not been on talking terms since the talk show host interviewed the singer in the late 90s. At the time, Toni was at the height of her career, selling albums and records to the tune of a whopping $170 million. Yet the songstress declared bankruptcy. This surprised many people, including O Winfrey, as everyone wondered where all the money went. Toni Braxton declares bankruptcy became the common headline splashed across various newspapers and online portals as the tabloids tried to fathom where all her money went. Sadly, many people criticized her spending habits and judged her for blowing all her cash on unnecessary expenditures without listening to her side of the story. O, supposedly also perplexed by the whole event, invited Toni Braxton for an interview on her then O Winfrey show to dissect the bankruptcy issues and get down to the nitty-gritty. Toni Braxton was reportedly excited about the interview and the opportunity to tell exactly what happened. She knew that she could use the opportunity to clear her name and already soiled image. However, little did she know that that interview would prove to be the straw that broke the camel's back. If only she had known what would unfold in the studios of Oprah, she would have stayed in the comfort of her home. What she thought would be her saving grace apparently became her worst nightmare. Oprah set the tone for the interview by highlighting the achievements of the then 29-year-old Braxton. She spoke about all the shows she's headlined, the venues she's sold out, and her record-breaking, chart-topping songs. Just when her head was up in the clouds, the seasoned TV host hit her with her bankruptcy issues. She started by making Toni Braxton admit that she was broke.
B-R-O-K-E, broke?
Broke.
Like broke?
Like, no money.
No money.
Yeah.
Like net worth what?
Negative.
Next, she targeted the singer's spending habits, mentioning all the unnecessary things she bought. She joked about Braxton's Gucci silverware, allowing the fans to steal a quick laugh at the hapless R&B singer. Then she mentioned her baby grand piano, as well as her super expensive wardrobe, with each dress costing thousands of dollars, and her pricey shoes worth a fortune.
Well, I didn't know Gucci made silverware. When you had Gucci silverware and baby grand pianos, and you're used to wearing $5,000 and $6,000 and $7,000 gowns at a time.
She then asked whether the singer took responsibility for the situation she found herself in. Toni, apparently oblivious of what Oprah was up to, nodded in agreement, saying she 100% owned up to the financial mess she found herself in. Meanwhile, it's public knowledge that artists have accountants and fund managers who advise them on how much comes in and how to spend the money. So fans thought that Oprah was indirectly criticizing her for wasting money when it wasn't totally her fault, but that of her finance management team. It looked like Oprah had an agenda and was bent on seeing it through. Next, the celebrated talk show host asked Toni Braxton how she ended up losing all that money, to which the singer brilliantly intimated that she allowed other people to take care of her finances. And she was right. Big celebrities have trusted people who manage their finances and day-to-day activities so they can concentrate on their craft. It would be virtually impossible to balance their finances with entertaining their fans. One of them has to give. Plus, managing hundreds of millions of dollars is a different ballgame that can't be handled by one person. Thus, Braxton was right to say that she handed her finances over to a dedicated team to ensure everything ran smoothly. She also explained that her status in the industry meant that she needed quality and sometimes pricey costumes and properties to match. Many industry players and critics were likely to write her off as broke and probably ridicule her if they found out that she earned millions but wore a cheap dress. She was a star, a celebrity, an icon, and she needed to dress the part. After all, it was all part of her brand and showbiz. According to Toni Braxton, her only fault was believing and trusting in the wrong people to manage her funds. However, it appeared as if Oprah wasn't impressed and was bent on humiliating the A-list singer. So, the talk show host insisted that the money was Braxton's, and she should have taken responsibility by signing off the checks. Toni again explained that she didn't sign all her checks because he believed everyone would be loyal and truthful. Apparently sensing that she was cornered, Oprah changed the topic, asking whether the bank people publicly auctioned her things. At this point, the singer appeared teary as she narrated how they appraised her valuables and sold them off to the highest bidder. Strangely, Oprah referenced Toni Braxton's Gucci silverware to the laughter of the audience. Toni explained that though she was making hundreds of millions of dollars, only a fraction of that amount made it to her bank account. So at the end of the day, she had little to spend, which she did on her appearance, making sure that she looked the part. However, Oprah won't blame her finance team but Toni for spending the little that came into her account. In her opinion, the Unbreak My Heart singer should have saved or been frugal with the little that came into her account, apparently criticizing her. But let's be honest, a girl deserves all the good things her wages can buy, especially if she worked hard for it. What's the point of working like a horse and eating like a mouse when in fact you're a horse? So Toni was right to spend the little she had on dressing and looking like the star she was. It was her finance team's responsibility to negotiate on her behalf so that the studios and record labels paid her worth. But apparently they wouldn't. Sadly, the studios and labels appeared to take advantage of that. Well, after the interview, Toni Braxton sat down and analyzed everything the TV host did and said and concluded that Oprah had an agenda. According to an interview she did with VH1 on their show Behind the Music, the Grammy Award winner tore into Oprah, blasting the actress for how she made her feel on TV. Expressing her dismay at Oprah's actions, Braxton said, "She was so frickin' mean to me. I was in shock." The R&B diva claimed that she had lots of respect for Oprah prior to the interview, but after what she did to her, she lost every ounce of respect for the famous TV presenter. "I couldn't believe it because I loved her so much. I admired her and looked up to her, and she pretty much reprimanded me." The Unbreak My Heart singer never forgot the Gucci silverware Oprah made fun of and explained how that comment hurt her. She says to me, "I heard you have Gucci flatware. I'm Oprah Winfrey, and I don't have Gucci flatware." According to her, Oprah had the money to buy the Gucci flatware, but chose not to purchase it because it was her choice. Maybe she didn't like the Gucci flatware and instead preferred a different designer set. So it all boiled down to a matter of choice, and in this case, Braxton chose Gucci. Thus, she wondered why the talk show host would shame her for her preferences. "You ain't got Gucci flatware because you didn't want to buy it. It's not because you couldn't afford it. What do you mean?" The singer intimated that Oprah's words broke her and took a toll on her career. And immediately she